Hello and welcome to this first lesson in Unit 20, Client-Side Customization of Web Pages. This is a BTEC National Level 3 unit, credit value of 10, and there's going to be 60 guided learning hours. Okay, let's just get started. What we should know at this point is that we should know how to use Notepad++, and what I've actually done is I've created a very simple web page using Notepad++ to actually introduce the module. We also should have an understanding of XHTML or HTML, and again, if you look at the highlighted area there at the top, you can see that my doc type is of the type XHTML1 strict, so I'm using XHTML. And also we should have used some simple CSS in the previous web module in term 1. Now, my idea is to create a web page and show you some of the styles that you can apply to the web page as we go along. I'm not overly concerned how the actual site will be viewed at the end or how it should look at the end. I'm just using this as an example, and I just thought, well, why not develop the module as a website and video it as I go along and explain the concept of what I'm doing in regards to what you need to do as part of the unit. So the first thing we're going to be looking at is understanding the fundamentals of cascading style sheets, which is going to be pretty much the first few weeks. And then we're going to look at understanding the fundamentals of scripting languages. We're going to have to look at being able to lay out the control of the web pages using CSS. We're going to be using something called the box model, and we're going to be building a website. Basically, you're going to have to create an interactive web page. Basically what that's going to be is a web page similar to the last module. However, you're going to have to write some JavaScript, and it's going to have to be totally controlled by CSS, so no HTML tables or anything of that description. Okay, so let's get cracking and let's look at some CSS. I've just noticed that I've not put a page title in for my page. Very naughty of me, so I'm going to put a page title in. So I'm going to call it Unit 20 CSS. Okay, that'll do. Just save that. Right, let's create a new document, and let's save this document as a CSS file. So just find CSS files. There it is, and we'll call it. Let's call it style. So, there we go. So we've got a document now called style, okay, and I'm going to create some different styles for my web page. You'll notice that I've used H3 tags. I've also used H4 tags. Basically my thinking there is my H3 is my main headings, H4 are my subheadings, and then I've used on an ordered list and an ordered list. So if we just go back to my page, you can see that I've used H3 for the main headings, H4 for subheadings, and obviously I've got a unordered list and an ordered list. Okay, so I'm just going to start off with something extremely simple, and I'll change the main headings to start off with. So just going back to Notepad, what I need to do is set up particular styles for the H3 tag. Okay, so first of all I need to specify that it's the H3 tag I'm actually changing, and I'll put my brackets in to start off with. Okay, and then inside the brackets I will fill in the elements properties of how I want to style the H3 tag. So just as a demonstration, I'll change the colour, and here's one I've prepared earlier. So I've got the colour property, and I've set the value to 00FF00 as a hexadecimal number. In other words, green, the colour green. Just a note on the syntax: you specify the actual property. We use a colon to resemble an equal sign. In other words, that means it's equal to. This is the value, and then we separate each of our properties by semicolons. Okay, once we've done that, we need to link our style sheet. So we need to put the link tag in the head of the page. And you'll probably notice that I'm copying and pasting a lot of stuff, and I'm saying that I've got here's stuff I've prepared earlier, etc., etc. Basically because I don't expect you to remember absolutely everything. I would expect you to remember the structure of things, so that's massively important. But if you try to remember everything, it does get difficult. And if you're learning other languages, Visual Basic or Pascal or whatever, if you're learning XHTML at the same time, there's so many things going around in your head. It's easy to get mistaken. As an example, we use equal symbols in the HTML or XHTML, and in the actual style sheet we use a colon. So it's easy to get things mixed up. So basically, my point being, use a reference if you create your own reference points. I like to use W3 Schools, an absolutely fantastic website. I talk about this website a lot, so I'm using W3 Schools as my reference, and it's got loads of tutorials on CSS, and you can try stuff on this as well. Absolutely fantastic website. Anyway, okay, going back to the HTML page, I've put my link in, so we just need to save that and save the style sheet, and hopefully there we go. Anything that's affected by the H3 tag will now turn green because that style sheet is linked to it, and the style that's in the style sheet is this colour turning green for H3 tags only. Okay, so you have a go at that. You practice that. You try some headings out yourself and apply some styles to it. Okay.